The holidays are approaching and we have tons of action to get to with multiple winter sports getting their conference schedules started. It's great to have you back with us for another episode of Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. We'll get right into it with some local basketball coverage. Waubonsee and Benet have both their girls and boys basketball teams ranked inside the top 10 of the Class 4A AP poll. The Warrior girls picked up where they left off from last year's state qualifying team, defeating Mattia Valley 56-23 on Friday night. That game was followed up with the boys and a battle between the top two teams in the DVC last season. Let's start our hoops coverage with the Eola Road rivalry.
The Waubonsee Valley Warriors have given their fans plenty to party about this season. Winners by 30 or more points in their first 4 games, the Warriors take a conference challenge for the first time this year with a trip down Eola Road to face Mattia Valley. The Mustangs are 3-1, with their lone loss coming to Downers Grove North, the team that knocked Waubonsee out of last year's postseason. On the first possession, Tyree Coleman wastes no time finding Moses Wilson on a backdoor lob. Waubonsee's star duo comes out strong. Waubonsee busts out a zone early on, but Trey Watkins assists Khalil Jones, who spins and splits the defenders for a tough and one. Warriors up 4-3. Jones brings the ball up, but the Warriors swarm him. Cade Vallick ends up with the steal. Josh Tenney takes the ball up, and Wilson is cleared for takeoff. The one-handed slam helps the Warriors extend an early lead. The Coleman to Wilson connection only strengthens. Mattia falls asleep on defense, and this backdoor slam puts the Warriors up 11-5. Moses Wilson misses a layup, and the Mustangs start to run. Jones takes it down and finds Dominic Smith, who thinks he has a layup, but the sophomore Chris Mporokoso has other plans and rejects the Mattia fast break. Waubonsee lead 19-7 after the first quarter. Coleman finds a switch off the high screen. He drives and dishes it to Wilson on the dunker spot. 25-9 Waubonsee. Mattia operate out of an inbound. The ball is bounced around, but Tyler Miller ends up with it and hits the Mustangs' first 3 of the game. In the second half, Tenney sets up an inbound play, and Coleman shakes loose from his defender for an easy layup. Mporokoso is stuck with no dribble at the wing, but finds Donovan Neal open. Neal drives in and breaks down his defender. He scores on a nice layup, 50-26 Waubonsee. One bright spot for the Mustangs was the shooting of Miller. This time he hits off an assist from Jones to make it 50-29. He hit 4 threes on the night. Here's Coleman working one-on-one. He gets to his spot in the paint, rises up, and delivers. Coleman would end the night with 23 points. Mporokoso has a one-on-one. The sophomore cuts to his left and puts up an acrobatic shot. The ball spins around the rim, and it drops in as Waubonsee continue to dominate. Wilson now takes it in. He gets a Mattia defender to jump on the pump fake and finishes for an and one. Waubonsee Valley go on to win 73-45, with Coleman and Wilson combining for over 45 points.
Naperville Central and new head coach Mike Wilson begin the conference slate for boys basketball against Neuqua Valley, led by freshman sensation Cole Kelly. The 6'6" underclassman comes in averaging a near double-double with 17 points and 9 boards in just 4 games. The Redhawks hope to slow him and the rest of his teammates down while seeking their first win over the Wildcats since February of 2021. Cole Kelly gets cooking right away with the board and then displays a nice assist to Whitman Charbonneau, who connects for 3 to give Neuqua a 5-0 lead. It's a slow start for Central, but Alex Leibel finds TJ Hillman, who drives and pulls the floater to get the Redhawks on the board. A few possessions later, NC turns the ball over, and Kelly makes them pay with a breakaway, and look out below, it's a dunk for Kelly. The Wildcats lead 11-7 after 1. Central is still trailing in the second quarter, but not for long because Evan Moss is open in the corner and hits the trifecta for a 14-12 Red Hawk lead. Back come the Wildcats and Kelly. Andrew Hoffman passes to number 23 and with no hesitation hits another 3-point basket. Central gets a turnover on defense, but the Neuqua defense gets destructive because David Tywell rejects Hillman into next week. Over a minute left until the half, Kelly continues his assault as he shoots the NBA range 3 and book it. That triple makes it 24-23 Wildcats. However, Central answers quickly. After nice ball movement, Hillman passes to Cooper Page, who goes off the glass to put the Redhawks back in front 25-24 at the half. The Wildcats get their juice on in the second half with Charbonneau, who poses a beautiful Euro step and scores with a foul. The game is even at 32, but not anymore because Libo dishes out to Preston Kuda, who is near the corner, and bingo! That's a 3-ball for Kuda, and it gives Central a 35-32 lead. From there, let the game of runs begin for Nequa. Charbonneau looks for an open Mason Martin, who kisses the glass. The Wildcats go on a 7-0 run to lead 39-35 after 3. The Redhawks cut into it with another 3-pointer from Page that gets them to within 1. Although the Cats take complete control from there, Martin gets the ball to Luke Johnson in the paint, who misses but gets his own board and putback. As for Cole Kelly, there he is on the wing, and kaboom! 31 points in the game for Kelly, and Nequa Valley goes on a 28-8 run to take down Naperville Central 60-43.
Benet standout Emma Briggs only began playing competitive basketball about 3 years ago. This past summer, the Red Wing represented and shined for Great Britain on the international stage. We'll have more on Briggs after the break.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
Two dealerships, side by side, identical in every way. What makes the difference? The experience. That's why more people choose Fair Oaks Lincoln. Incredible selection, knowledgeable salespeople, and a world-class experience you can't find anywhere else. Get 0% APR financing on most new Lincoln models this month at Fair Oaks Lincoln in Naperville, where the dealership experience makes the difference.
Over the summer, Benet's Emma Briggs played a pivotal role in helping Great Britain to a third-place finish at the U16 Eurobasket in Turkey. The Red Wing Junior only began playing basketball about 3 years ago and has received Division I offers. We have more on our latest feature story presented by Fair Oaks Ford. Benet basketball standout Emma Briggs marked a significant milestone this past summer by representing Great Britain on the international stage. She played a pivotal role in helping Britain secure a third-place finish at the 2024 U16 Eurobasket tournament held in Turkey.
It's a lot of pride. Like, you feel a lot of pride when you're there. You're playing for your country, you know. After that game was like one of the best moments of my life. Getting that medal, you know.
Briggs was born in Beijing and moved to Illinois at the age of 4. She has always maintained her British citizenship through her father, who hails from Leicester, England. Her mother is from China, and Briggs has been fluent in Mandarin. Remarkably, she only began playing competitive basketball in 8th grade, having previously focused on soccer. Just 2 years after her first AAU game, she was already representing Great Britain at the 2023 Eurobasket tournament in Montenegro.
I think that because of Great Britain, my motor's gotten better and better. Like, it's more full court, and also because of the shot clock over there. So I think because of that, I've gotten used to playing faster, more competitive, a rougher kind of in a higher stage.
The disappointment of falling in the quarterfinals last year fueled Britain's determination, and Briggs' relentless energy contributed to the historic victory in the 2024 third-place game. A 22-point win not only secured them a medal, but also marked their promotion to the top division for the first time ever.
It's a lot different than playing in the States. It's a lot faster, a lot more turnovers kind of playing, a lot more possessions. One game we scored over 100 points, and that had never happened to me before.
Living in the U.S., one might wonder how Briggs got involved with the British national team. As a freshman, her teammates and Illinois Player of the Year, Lene Beaumont, was invited to a USA Youth Camp. This got Briggs thinking if there's an international stage for her to play on.
Emma made the comment to her father one day, well, I'll never get to do that because I'm not a U.S. citizen. So he sent a random email off to Great Britain basketball and said, hey, is this, would you be interested? And sent some film, and next thing you know, they had her for a tryout. Her skills are very much developing, and she's made a very concerted effort since freshman year to continue to improve her skills and has taken big leaps forward in that regard. On and off the court, Briggs can do it all. She's a black belt in Taekwondo and can play the piano and trumpet. The Red Wing Junior holds a 4.3 GPA and has received plenty of interest from Division I programs. She aspires to be an orthopedic surgeon, but still has plenty of time left on the court. After helping Britain to third at Eurobasket, the Benet standout looks to become more of a leader this season for the Red Wings.
I think I've learned that I need to lead the team more as a junior. I've always been underclassman, kind of stepping back a little bit. But I think this year I have to learn to lead it more.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy. The girls' bowling season is picking up with conference matchups beginning over the week. After the break, we'll check on how some of our teams are looking.
In these complicated times, local news has never been more important. DailyHerald.com lets you stay connected to your community, wherever you are.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
The girls' bowling season for IHSA is underway as Naperville Central hosts Neuqua Valley at Lyle Lanes. Last year's matchup saw Neuqua win by 93 pins as both teams look to get an early DVC win. Neuqua starts off hot with Anaya Emerson rolling this shot perfectly in the pocket as the pins domino to the ground for the first strike of the day as part of a 161 Game 1 score. On the same pair is teammate Chanel Edwards, who also shoots it at the pocket as pins fall for the strike. Edwards starts Game 1 with a 175 score. The Redhawks counter as Rose Wachowski rolls it straight to the center as pins fly for the strike. Also on the pair is Olive O'Boyle, who goes Brooklyn on this shot, but is able to knock down the 5-pin for another strike. Wachowski ends with a 283 series, while O'Boyle finishes with a 361. Back with the Wildcats as Kushi Patel slides this ball on target and clears the pins off the map. She ends her day with a 330 overall series. The Redhawks get into the spare act as Maddie DeVille looks for the mark and knocks over the 3-pin for 1 conversion. Later on, she follows it up with a 1-2-4-7 spare to get another mark to her tally. She ends her day with a 367 series. Also contributing for Central is Lizzie Atkins, who rolls it slowly towards the pocket, but does just enough to knock down the 5 and 8 pins for a strike to keep the Redhawks fighting. Neuqua rallies with more strikes of their own as Serena Mariah nails this one on target, but just gets the 7-pin down for a strike conversion. Alongside is Suhana Merkant, who goes right up the face but trips down the 10-pin. Both bowlers have corner pin swag to contribute to Neuqua's efforts. Central rallies for more spares, this time from Alice Cecil, who goes across lanes to pick up a 4-7 spare to keep the Redhawks fighting. But Neuqua is able to put things away as Aaron Scott's fastball plows the pins down for a strike as part of a 361 series. Meanwhile, Chanel Edwards secures another strike for a team-leading 459 series. Neuqua Valley claims the match by 352 pins as the Wildcats secure the DVC win.
Waubonsie Valley's Moses Wilson earns the Boys Play of the Week with not just 1, but 2 highlight reel slams for the Warriors. First, Mattia tries to bring it up, but Cade Valek steals it away. Josh Tinney puts the oop on a platter to Wilson, who yams it down with authority. Then we saw this connection cook teams last season, and they're already doing it again early on this year. Tyreek Coleman feeds Wilson for the reverse alley-oop. His head nearly hits the backboard, and let's take one more look at the plays. Waubonsie has started the season undefeated, and Wilson is showing he's one of the most athletic players in the state. Coming up next, we'll head to the mats for some wrestling and tumble over to our first gymnastics highlight of the year between North and Central.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
When it comes to interest rates, it seems the Fed only knows one direction, up. That's not fair. If you're fed up with high rates, head over to Fair Oaks Ford. You can get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months. Now that's fair. Plus, you'll get what J.D. Power called the best customer experience in the business. Fair Oaks Ford on Ogden Avenue in Naperville. You've got a friend in the car business. Shop online 24/7 at fairoaksford.com.
Welcome back to high school wrestling with some early DVC conference action. The Metea Valley Mustangs host the crosstown rival Waubonsie Valley Warriors. This is the first conference matchup for each team, looking to get a win to boost their confidence and morale. The first match of the night goes to the ladies at the 135-pound weight class. Action between Sophia Contreras from Waubonsie Valley and Metea Valley's Hala Elhelu. Contreras, who won an exhibition earlier in the night, is able to hold down her opponent early as she tries to get the pin. The Mustang keeps one shoulder up and she stays alive while Contreras pads the lead. The second period passes and Contreras shows more domination as she defeats Elhelu, eventually earning the pin in the final period. The first boys varsity match of the night is at 113 pounds. Mason Goldman from Waubonsie Valley takes control from the start against Alan Macias to earn the pin for the green and gold. The team score is even at 6-6 after the Mustangs earn a forfeit victory at 120 pounds. Next, we move on to the 138-pound weight class. We have another impressive match from Waubonsie Valley. The Warriors' Nathan Duffield is able to get a huge takedown on his opponent, Viswij Hunayapu, flipping the Mustang down to the mat. In the second period of the match, Duffield continues to overpower the Mustang as he would eventually win by technical fall 16-1, putting the Warriors in front in the team scoring. Waubonsie Valley looks to continue its reign of dominance in the next weight class at 157 pounds. Desmond Stribley from Waubonsie gets an early escape point before Matea's Lucas Lee earns points with a reversal in an even matchup following the first period. As the match goes along, Lee attempts to escape against Stribley's arm lock. Stribley holds on and gets the shoulders down for the hard-fought pin. Another 6 points for the Warriors. The Mustangs would fight back as Metea Valley's 165-pound wrestler, Lucas Marcoux, brings the boom against Sander Allen from Waubonsie. In the next period, Marcoux gets his opponent off his feet again, delivering another takedown to continue his display of strength. They always say third time's the charm, and Marcoux delivers the final takedown to win the match for the Mustangs via technical fall by a 23-6 score. The Mustangs look to go on a little winning streak at the 175-pound weight class. Metea Valley's Jackson Wasson picks up some early points against Lucas Pretkelis, holding on to his opponent's ankle before getting the takedown. Later in the third period, Wasson holds on to a 6-point lead, meaning Pratkelis needs a pin in the closing seconds to earn the win. Wasson holds his ground as time runs out, as 3 points go to the black and gold. The Mustangs continue their win streak as Bodan Postorbnik gets an early pin against Trevor Martin in the first period at 190 pounds. 6 more points for Mattia Valley. In our last match of the night, we have the 215-pound matchup with Andony Castellan squaring up for Waubonsie Valley against Theron Anand. Anand goes for the reversal, but the Warrior gains the edge and puts him on his back, putting the shoulders to the mat for the pin. That helps seal the deal for Waubonsie Valley, who earns the road victory over Mattia Valley after an entertaining early season DVC duel.
The IHSA gymnastics season is back, and what a better way to start it than with a crosstown clash between the Redhawks and Huskies. Naperville Central hosts Naperville North in the season's first matchup for both teams. The Redhawks come off a third-place finish in the DVC last season. Let's begin on the bars with Naperville North's Kate Allfield. She works her way up to the first bar, makes the transition to the top look seamless, and prepares for the dismount. Allfield gets the 4th best score on bars at 7.65. Moving to Redhawk sophomore Anna Lazovsky, who gets up to the first bar and spins around with some composure. She stands up for the bar change and gets to the top, looking to hold herself up at the top several times. Lazovsky dismounts with the backflip for a second-place score of 8.25. Our top score on the bars comes from Husky Maddie Morangi, who sets herself up for an excellent bar change. On the top bar, the Husky holds herself up well at the top to impress the judges. She sticks the landing on the dismount to finish with a score of 8.65. Running into the vault with Husky Erin Arnold. She springs up to the vault and lands for a score of 8.55. Now with Redhawk Ava Prokop, who twists off the apparatus and sticks the landing well. Arnold, Prokop, and Alana Williams all tie for third on the vault with a score of 8.55. Our second best score from the vault is Harley Sandbrooks from Naperville Central. She twists before landing for a score of 8.6. Wrapping up the vault with Redhawk Anna Lazovsky, who twists into a flip and gets the landing to stick. The sophomore secures the top score of any event at 8.9 on the vault. To the beam with Redhawk Mia Lupo, who's towards the end of her routine. She shows strong composure on a couple of jumps and gets ready for the exit. Lupo cartwheels into a flip and gets a score of 8.0. Arnold is now on the beam for Naperville North, where she shines for a top score of the event. She stays balanced after a few jumps and sets up for a cartwheel, which she nails. Arnold scores an 8.8 on the beam. Wrapping up the evening with a floor exercise, and we begin with Alana Williams. After a good first pass, she sets up again and sticks the landing for Central. The Redhawks scores at 8.25. Let's close out the matchup with Arnold on the floor. The Husky senior reverses and flips around on the first pass. Then she handsprings into a flip to wrap up the routine and the top score on the floor at 8.75. Once the final scores are counted, Naperville Central finishes on top in the vault, beam, and floor to win the crosstown clash by 2.2 points. Both teams will begin DVC action on January 9th. We're at Fox Bowl for this week's Girls Play of the Week as Mattia Valley bowler Maya Moore leads the Mustangs past rivals Waubonsie Valley. In the final game, Moore goes lights out, recording the best score of the day at 215 after scoring 213 in Game 1. She nearly bowls a turkey in the final frame, but just misses out on the final pin. However, she gets the spare by knocking the final one down. On her last throw, Moore knocks down all the pins for a strike. The Mustang was one of our best bowlers last season and has started her junior year on a high note.
We're back at All Seasons for hockey action as the Naperville Hockey Club faces off against the Warriors Hockey Club. Both teams have previously fought each other in the Carolina Cup last week, with Naperville taking home a thrilling overtime win. About 3 minutes into the first period, Jacob Kissler for NHC sends the puck towards the zone, but Tyler Benet holds out his hand to catch the puck for the save. 9.5 minutes left, Travis Holub swipes the puck into the back of the net for the game's first goal. The Warriors are looking to tie the game. Elijah Houlihan shoots for the goal, but Sam Carlton gets in position to make the save. Houlihan and Charles Tuza line up for the faceoff. Houlihan passes the puck, and after lots of passing, Joe Pijanowski shoots and scores to tie the game at 1. The Warriors pick up speed with Marcus Palmhurst finding Blake Cesarone, who shoots below for the goal, and that gives the Warriors a 2-1 lead. Skating ahead to the third period, we see a teamwork effort of Scott Boscarino and Owen Wilkie who seek the equalizer, but Wilkie's shot on goal is denied by Benet. Naperville is trying desperately to score a goal, so Willie Meese attacks the zone, but Benet is ready to make the defensive play and block Meese's shot. With a minute left in the third, Finnegan O'Toole of the Warriors hits the puck on the side of the wall, and it takes a roll all the way to the other side of the ice and goes in for the empty netter and a Warriors victory.
That will wrap up this week's episode of NSW. We have just 2 more episodes left in 2024. You can find all our highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org. You can also find us across all social media platforms at NCTV17. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy, and we'll see you again next week.